Hello, everyone. I want to talk about a topic that's going to be an important topic in your careers, especially over the next few months as people start returning from COVID and going back into the office. We're going to talk about business etiquette and setting a professional tone with your coworkers, clients, customers, because it's going to be so important. People are going to have forgotten how to go to work, what to do at work. My wife hasn't worn like business attire in a year now. She's used to wearing sweats and a t-shirt and not doing her hair. Not doing my hair, not a problem. But so it's going to be important that when people go back to work first, that we give them some space, because it's going to be difficult to go back to work. It's just a new environment. People are going to be nervous about getting back in crowds. So talking about business etiquette is really, really important. All right, let me see if I can make the slides go like I want to. There we go. Oh, that's not the right button. Here we go. All right. So a couple of things. When we go to work, a lot of people work in cubicles. And what's really interesting about cubicles is a long time ago, 40 years ago, everyone had a private office. And then there was this idea that if we put people in cubicles in little groups, instead of their own private office, they'll work together, they'll talk, they'll do stuff. And also it's cheaper because we don't have to have individual private offices. So the idea of cubicles happened, and now we call them cube farms, a bunch of cubicles all in a big giant room, and it can be noisy and difficult to work with. So there's really some important rules to understand when you're working in this type of environment. First one, don't be a prairie dog. Don't always be peeking over the top. Hey, what'd you say? Go around, pretend right here like they have walls. Don't just walk in because it's an open door area. Knock, announce yourself. Pretend like you're entering somebody's office, somebody's workspace, because it is their workspace. All right? Allow workers to complete their calls. Don't just hang outside. I know, yes, you can listen to them, but don't just stand there waiting for them to stop talking. Let people have private time. If they're eating, leave them alone. Let them finish eating. Let them relax. All right? Also, especially in areas with a lot of cubicles, move conversations away from the hallways, because everyone can hear you and you're disturbing what they're doing. So be careful what you're doing. Also, don't just, you hear stuff over the wall and just chime in. Like, you got to pretend that you can't hear that stuff. Just try to be professional. Keep your lunch in your kitchen. If you can eat in the if you have a kitchen area, eat in the kitchen area. Don't bring food, especially stinky food where everyone can smell it. I used to work with a gentleman who would microwave some smelly fish every day at lunch and just stink up the whole place. We all hated them. And if you have something that you eat, it's gonna smell a little bit, make sure you don't leave it in the trash can that's not gonna be changed for 2 days under your desk. Take it outside, take it somewhere else where it's not gonna smell the place up. Turn down the volume. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Office Space, where they talk about listening to music at a reasonable volume. Don't not listen to music. Like, you can have earbuds in, you can have, whatever. If your employer allows you to listen to your own music when you work, some will, some won't. Just keep the volume so people around you can't hear it, so it's not disturbing other people. Because while it may help you, it may really infuriate other people, especially if you scream, like, okay, I have a family member, my father, who, when he's on the phone, just yells. And it's not because he has a bad hearing. He's done that like his entire life. And like, people around him when he's on the phone, like, are like, what is going on? So, be considerate of the people around you. You don't have to, keep the volume low if you can. All right, so this is an interesting one. Business etiquette and dress. What does dress mean? People say, it's casual, it's corporate casual, business casual, smart casual. What do all those things mean? Usually, casual at work means you're wearing like dress type pants and a collared shirt for guys. Women, a nice blouse and some dress type pants, or some mix of that, right? Casual usually does not mean a tie, a suit coat, a pantsuit, whatever, for everyone. But the best advice: overdress the first day, and you can always dress down. So if you think that you need to wear, this, maybe dress a little bit nicer the first day. It's bad when you come in underdressed the first one. So one of those things. All right. Now, how to finesse embarrassing and awkward situations. You find a personal and potentially embarrassing document left behind in the photocopier. This happens all the time. People print stuff up and they forget to go get it. They get distracted, whatever. Like, I've seen people's resumes and job applications to other jobs on the photocopier, and they don't want people seeing that. They don't want people to know they're applying for other jobs. So, usually you can just either leave it there, take it to them, hey, I saw this was yours, I didn't really read it, whatever. Just be careful, all right? This is an interesting situation. Your boss is expecting a visitor any moment, and you notice his fly is open. Should you tell him? I don't like this solution. If you're a man, tell him. If you're a woman, ask one of the guys, let them know. I think we can all tell each other. Men's or women's or whoever's, anyone, any in the gender spectrum can have their fly up or down. Zippers happen sometimes. So just tell them, hey, by the way, you might want to fix that zipper before somebody, the client shows up or something. It's not a big deal. We've all done it. And if you haven't done it, you will do it. So other office etiquette no-nos. Getting an email from someone sitting 3 feet away. Like, could you have just told me that? Or sending an email and then immediately going to their office. You get my email? Give me a chance to read it. All right? Don't listen to your voicemail or speakerphone. Pick it up. Swearing at the computer. I have done that. I have called my computer many, many, many horrible things along the way. Try to not do that. This is an interesting one. There's this big section about handshakes. And I would have agreed with this section about handshakes until COVID. I'm not sure what people are going to do. People are going to be scared to touch each other at first after COVID. You're going to see a lot of fist bumping, a lot of elbow touches, a lot of whatever. I think the handshake will return. I think it's part of society, I think. But it might just completely go away. I don't know. But read through this handshake section. I would not reach out and grab somebody's hand right now, just because people are very awkward about COVID. What happens when somebody gets fired? One of your friends is going to get fired. Someone you like is going to get fired. It happens. All right. React quickly. Hey, I'm sorry. Don't know what to say. This sucks. Wish I could help. All right. Don't downplay the place because, other people may overhear that and then you may end up in a bad situation yourself. Maybe after the shock has faded, hey, let's have a little party, we'll just wait a little while and then like a week later, hey, you want to get together, have a little party or whatever. Don't be a self-help book and don't get in office gossip. This is one thing that office gossip will get people in trouble every time. It is so easy to do. Start talking about other people at work. It will get you in trouble every single time. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, let's see here. Roll out the red carpet for visitors. Yes, treat people, greet them by name, greet them by title if appropriate. Stand up. If you see somebody coming in and I worked at a place that was very informal, but if we would see some of the higher level administrators out in the parking lot, someone would just yell, "Incoming!" So everyone knew that somebody important was coming in because our office was kind of separated away. And we were all like director level. We were all about the same level. We were upper level management. And we became a very casual group of people because our vice presidents and the CEO never came over to see us. So we would just yell across the place to give everyone a warning. But if you see someone coming in, maybe you want to phone the boss. Hey, that client's on the way up. I just saw him. Something like that. Yeah. Shoo away distractions. All right. If you're waiting for something, make sure that you're focused on what's happening. Don't get distracted by something and then miss the important person. And then really this is one thing, if you have somebody that's really important there, you don't want to necessarily make unnecessary small talk. Let's get to business. Let's get through it, and be very professional. Phone etiquette. Oh, this is one of those things I wish more people had it. It's easy to be mean on the phone because you're not sitting next to someone. It's easy to say horrible things. All right? You will get yelled at on the phone. I have gotten yelled at for just the most ridiculous things on the phone. Whatever. Yell all you want. But I'm not going to give it back to you. I'm going to let them vent. I'm going to try to stay focused, take it down a notch. Okay, let me try to understand what you're saying. This is the problem that you're having. And okay, I will. I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry you're having a problem with our product. I'm sorry this isn't working out for you. I didn't assign any blame to anything. I'm just saying I'm sorry this isn't working for you, which will make the customer, usually feel much better because, oh my gosh, they're listening to me. They're trying to fix this. And so, we've in healthcare especially, we have learned to say I'm sorry, to apologize, not necessarily take responsibility for the situation, but to try to soothe the situation, to empathize. Sometimes you just got to take one of the team, even if you're not to blame. And I have taken one for the team many, many times. And just say, look, there have been times that I've communicated something. This is a great example. I've made it very clear. I've sent 3 emails. The person just didn't pay attention. I'm sorry, I should have made that more clear. And then what do you want me to do? How can we help fix this? I'm a big subscriber to Disney's management styles and systems, and it's all about service recovery. How do I fix this? How do I move forward? What can I do to make this right? And in business, you hear the customer is always right. It's not always true, but we try to make them feel that way. If somebody came up and they said, "Hey, I bought this pen. It was $1 million. I need my $1 million back because it's faulty, because it's actually a highlighter." Yeah, the customer's not always right. You didn't pay $1 million for that. Go away. They might yell and scream. I've had weirder stuff happen. It is one of those things. You'll have people just remember this movie's from 1995, but the movie Friday, when Ezel falls down in the store and says he slipped and fell, he didn't slip and fall. Totally making it up. He's not always right. Anyway, don't eat other stuff. Don't raid the fridge. That will make people mad all the time, and it will happen. It will happen to you, and you're going to get just totally frustrated. Keep a communal fridge clean. When my wife was going to work, she would hate this because people would leave containers of food in there for months, and it would just get nasty, and they'd go in about once every 6 months and just throw everything away. So, make sure there's a policy about it. Label your stuff, and get your stuff out of there. All right. Office donations. This is one thing that's frustrating at times, and it happens a lot. People go around asking for stuff. How often? And you might remember this from when you were, in K through 12 school, and you're doing some kind of fundraiser, and you're trying to sell cookie dough or candy bars or something. It's okay once in a while, but that stuff gets old in a hurry, especially when everyone's doing it. And you're just like, I cannot buy another thing from someone else. I can't deal with it. So, be careful with doing that kind of fundraising at work. All right, so this is something that's important. Writing a letter. Sometimes you want to handwrite a letter because it's so easy now to send an email, to do something electronic. Handwriting something really means something to other people. So sometimes you need to write a letter. State why you're writing it, elaborate, build a relationship. Just a quick handwritten note is amazing. And it needs to say more than thank you. Just, hey, thanks for coming. But, say something in it, and it will mean a lot to people. All right, dining. Don't talk with your mouth full. People don't like awkward silences. I don't mind them. I sometimes like being in my own head. It's a fun place to be. But have a few casual, non-business topics in mind so you can get out of the work mind. Talk about the Gonzaga game. I don't, talk about something that's happened in sports. Don't talk about things that will rile people up. Well, if if there was just a Duke UNC basketball game and one person's like huge on one side and one person's huge on the other, yeah, you probably shouldn't get in the middle of that. But, talk about some just casual stuff, all right? Always be kind to the waitstaff because people are going to be judging you. Let's say you're in uniform and you have like your ID badge. For a long time, I wore an ID badge, a little that was my card and everything. Everyone knows who you work for. So if you're rude to the waitstaff, it's going to get back that, hey, the people from this place are rude. So be nice to that. If you're meeting other people, know what's going on. Put some thought into choosing the right restaurant. Make it appropriate for the situation. All right. And then, make sure that you tip and tip appropriately because other people will notice that around you. Office decor. This is an interesting one. Make it appropriate, and that's interesting. And depending on where you work, different things. Where my wife worked for a long time, it was very, very, you could only have these things. If you look around my office, I have toys. I have junk. It's okay. So depending on where you are, how much you can personalize your space matters. And you have to be careful now about what you put in the room. I'll be perfectly honest. I have a piece of artwork from the late 1600s, early 1700s. It's a cast bronze bookend. I lied. It's from the late 1700s, early 1800s. I was thinking of a different piece. Anyway, bookend. But it is a woman, like, think of like Greek figures with like the big cloth drape, right? And while it's not inappropriate, it doesn't show, whatever, it looks kind of like there's a naked woman there. And 20 years ago, I might have had that in my office as a bookend. Now, absolutely not. Am I going to have the Sports Illustrated swimsuit calendar up on the desk or up on the table behind me? No. So you got to think about what's in your office, what's appropriate for your office, and you can't personalize everything. You have to be considerate of the people around you and be considerate of what's going on in society, right? Are things going to be distracting, right? Avoid things that are distracting. Like I have a little marble roller coaster that I put up and take down sometimes. I would not want that in an area where other people could see it because people would just come play with it all the time. So got to be careful about that. And make sure things don't go overboard. All right. Make sure you pay attention to special occasions with coworkers. Recognize these things. It will get you noticed as well. Like I try not to have people know my birthday. I hate it. I despise it. But I try to recognize everyone else's important dates. All right. How do we introduce people? By their title, by their last name. Hey, this is Dean Bauer. This is Dr. Folks. This is Jim Smith, the president of the company. This is Jamal Johnson. He is our whatever his title is. I'm just totally making stuff up on the fly. Sorry. But yeah, introduce people by their name. Sometimes it's going to be Mr. Sometimes you'll give them the whole name. Sometimes Miss or any of the pronouns that they use. So just be aware of those. And it's more important now with what 5 years ago were considered atypical pronouns are becoming more and more common and more accepted in society. So you do need to understand the pronouns of the people that you work with. Let's see. Do I always have to invite everybody? No. Who pays for lunch? That's an interesting one. Depends on what's going on. Sometimes the boss will pay for it. Sometimes, I'll just treat the people I work with. Sometimes we all, pay for ourselves. It just depends. So make sure that you understand what's going on. Don't be the person who's always mooching off everyone else. All right. Does it matter who opens a door nowadays? This is an interesting question. And this is cultural, depending on where you are and where you come from. So, in the olden days, it was customary for men to open the door for women. Just being nice. I open the door for everyone. It just comes from how I was raised, and I'm just usually trying to be nice. If you have stuff in your hands, I'm opening the door for you. Doesn't matter what your gender is. Don't care. I'm just open the door for you, trying to be nice. But I've had circumstances where people are have gotten very angry because I opened a door, and it's an interesting topic now. There's a lot of discussion about what's appropriate with opening doors, and it's just something that society is slowly changing, or changing very quickly, probably. And you will find people. I mean, there have been harassment claims filed because someone opened a door, which I think is probably, there must have been something else going on. I think a single door opening incident, probably not, whatever. But I'm going to continue to open doors for every single person. If somebody doesn't appreciate it, honestly, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be nice. All right. Business cards. When's the appropriate time to give someone a business card? Usually, hey, towards the end of something, and you don't walk up. If you're a salesperson, hey, this is who I am. If you're building a relationship, you talk about something, and at the end of the meeting or whatever, hey, if you want to follow up with this, here's my card. Again, I'm not sure how business cards, people are still be sensitive about taking stuff off of others. Even though, the CDC actually just today came out with some guidelines saying that you don't have to be overly super cleaning stuff and wiping everything down with bleach anymore. But people might not want something that you've touched. So I'm not sure. Business cards are going to be interesting as well over the next few months. Yeah, that's about it. So business etiquette, important. All these things, pay attention to them. They're little things, but they will make a big difference in your career. All right. That's it. I know I went long, but I like talking about that stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, have a great day.